If manifestation worked the way it is usually presented online, especially around the law of attraction, you would have said few affirmations and boom, after letting go properly, you would have your love, confidence, all of it. Welcome to the Mindful Shift podcast. I am Leopoldian, and this is a space for people who want real change without turning their life into a full-time spiritual performance. No forcing feelings, no high vibes, and not even pretending you are healed when you are just feeling tired. So if you are self-aware, emotionally intelligent, but somehow still repeating the same patterns, no matter that it is in love, self-confidence, or even your career, you are in the right place, bestie. Because today's episode is for the people who did try manifestation, and most likely law of attraction. You have learned all the rules. You did your affirmation, or even your vision board, or journaling. And you are still sitting here like, okay, but why do my life looks exactly the same? Why nothing is changing? So let's talk about it honestly. And no, I won't give you the motivational version, neither the aesthetic one, just the real one. Real talk. A couple times a month, I share grounded mindset tools inspired by the law of assumption to help you rewrite your inner story. So your outer life, your experiences can actually shift too. And if you want to go deeper, everything is linked down below in the description. So go ahead and sign up with me. But for now, let's just continue our episode. Okay, can we be real for a second? If manifestation worked the way it is usually presented online, especially around the law of attraction, you would have said few affirmations, craft your vision board, journal a little, and boom, after letting go properly, you would have your love, confidence, peace, and ever the glow up you wanted. All of it. But instead, you click on this video and you are here. You tried everything to do it right, and in fact, you did learn a lot. And maybe you even overthought everything a little and complicated it for you. Tried several methods a week or even a month. But somehow, your experiences are still looping the same exact situations. So if that's you, please listen to this. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not failing at manifestation. Because manifestation on social media is usually sold as this super polished thing. Feel good all the time. Only have positive thoughts. Just let go of what you desire. Stop thinking about it even. Trust the universe of God, because it is not it, you will get even better, right? So if you don't get it, that's fine. You will get better, but please stop thinking negative thoughts or you'll ruin your manifestation. Or even worse, something happens, that might be a lesson because you need to be rewarded, right? Oh, this is even a test before you get what you want. But meanwhile, you are in your real life being like, I do still feel insecure sometimes. I still think about it because, well, I do want what I want, but still nothing seems to change. So today, my goal is to explain to you manifestation in a way that actually makes sense and works. Not a spiritual performance, not overcomplicated it. You do not force emotions or feelings, and you don't even have to believe it first. We will talk about the parts that actually create change, real ones. Here is the simple truth. Manifestation isn't about attracting something to you from the outside or deserving it in the first place. It is not even about forcing any emotion, believing in it first, or staying high vibe positive all the time. It's about what you keep assuming as true for you, no matter it is about yourself, others in your life, or your life in general, no matter the topic and what you desire. So no, it's not feelings, it's your thoughts. And yes, part of your core beliefs, but you can change them because of your new thoughts. And this is mostly about the quiet story, the inner state, the identity you keep choosing when you're not doing your practice. So when a thought keeps being repeated enough, it does stop feeling like a thought or a random one. It will feel like the truth, like this is true for you, because your world will send you things to prove that to you over and over until you believe it. And that is what exactly your reality reflects. This is why people say, others, your reality is your mirror. This is what that means. What happens in your mind, you'll thoughts, no matter it's images or words, are being reflected outside of you. Not the random ones, but the dominant ones. The one that you keep coming back to again and again, or that you believe in that is true for you already since a long time. And honestly, that's literally it. You manifested perfectly all your life. You are already a master manifester. So manifestation isn't deep or mystical. And honestly, it is kind of boring. And if you don't want it to be boring, I did make an episode to make it more fun if you want to, but that's optional. It's never an obligation. And the best way is sometimes the boring way, to be honest. Because that's why mostly it works. At least for me. So let's be clear. You are not calling things in. You are creating them with your thoughts. You are just creating whatever your brain is the most focused on. No matter it's conscious or subconscious. So no, you don't need to believe it at first to rewire your brain and an old belief. You don't even need to feel confident or be healed to get whatever you want. All you need to do is keep coming back and choosing that same new thought, that new identity, again and again and again, no matter what happens, without fault. Make that choice again. It's always a choice at each present moment. And that's it. That's all you need to do until you get what you want, fully, not just movements. Because honestly, what usually happens is this. You do some affirmations, you visualize, you journal, or you do whatever methods you want to. It doesn't matter which one, to be honest. Every method works as long as you think it works and it is the most natural for you. My favorite is just thoughts, just thinking. So affirmation mostly, because affirmations are just thoughts. But then most of the time, most of you, 5 minutes later, you are like, why it isn't here? Why nothing is happening? Why is this taking so long for me to have proof or something to happen? Am I doing this wrong? Am I awful at manifesting? Maybe I don't know how to manifest. And honestly, doing that doesn't mean you failed. You are always manifesting perfectly. It only means that this story you keep coming back to when you think those thoughts is the one that you are repeating to yourself and choosing when you felt that, or you tell that to someone, or you are in the comments saying those. For example, why it is taking so long? Maybe you need to start thinking to yourself, why is it manifesting so fast for me always? Why I always manifest money so fast and easily? Why I always manifest love so fast and easily? Why I always get what I want? You see where I'm coming from? Reverse it. No matter what you are complaining about constantly, a lot of the time, reverse it. Reverse it to finally get what you want. Because those thoughts are the one you need to change. First and foremost. And that means literally repeating those as much as possible too, alongside with what you want, not replace it. Why it isn't here? Why I already got it? It was so fast. Revise it if need to. I've made an episode about revision. I feel when I say use revision, revise your thought, reverse it, you think this is just a one-time thing. No, that's exactly the same process as anything you want. You need to repeat those thoughts as much as possible because those thoughts you keep coming back to and complaining about are what your core belief is right now subconsciously. So you need to change that about what you want. And your brain doesn't respond to your efforts. It responds to a habit, a repetition, something that feels natural for it. Something it will coming back to without ever thinking. It does respond to what you keep repeating to yourself again and again and again because it will become natural. So if you keep thinking all day, this will never work out for me. Maybe it's time to reverse it to everything is always working out in my favor, no matter what. Or if you keep repeating yourself, I don't have what I want yet, maybe it's time to use a vision and tell yourself, I already got what I wanted because I always get what I want no matter what. No matter what it is. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. Period. Because otherwise, that's the version of your life, your experiences that you will keep repeating to yourself and will keep experience, by the way. That's what you are creating. Otherwise, if you don't change it. And it's not because you are focusing on the negative. It's because it does feel familiar. That's what you experienced before. So obviously, that's what you're used to. But it doesn't need to keep being the case. You can change it. And change is not always comfortable. Let's be honest. I also made an episode about that. And the change happens when you pick at least one single thought. Something like, everything is always working out for me, no matter what. I always get what I want. Manifestation is always so easy and fast for me. Or manifesting X is always fast and easy for me. And you return to it at least 10 to 30 minutes a day. You need to be consistent. Or as much as you want to, all day even if you want to. Doesn't matter, honestly. But repetition and consistency are the key. That being said, no hype, no forcing it either. You don't need to grip about that thought. You just need to keep thinking it, even brainlessly, like a robotic one, doing other things. It works too. And you just come back to it over and over again. An opposite thought to what you want is coming. You return to that thought. You shut that thought before it's even finished, and you return to your chosen one. No debate, no argument. That's it. So when your brain starts to spiral, you don't argue with it. You don't need to. You don't need to flip over every thought. You can, if that works for you, but you don't have to. You just keep returning to your chosen thought, to your chosen affirmation in your head. That's it. And then you return to your day. You're busy in your mind, you do your things, you live, do things you enjoy. And you can do that while you are making your coffee, while you walk, while you do your sport, or while you're cooking, cleaning, taking your shower, no matter. Even when you are lying and bed scrolling. It really doesn't have to feel anything powerful, joyous. You don't need. You can be crying, be upset, and still repeating the same thoughts in your head. Doesn't matter how you feel in that moment. But if you keep repeating it, your emotion will change anyway. All it needs to do is start to feel normal, because at one point it will feel normal. You don't even have to affirm the same sentence over and over. That's what works for me. But honestly, as long as it means the same thing, you can say it differently as much as you want. But it needs to mean the exact same thing. And honestly, once something feels obvious, you will stop trying. You will stop having to be consistent and persistent and disciplined about it. Because it's just like you won't probably affirm that your phone will work tomorrow, right? Because it just will. You expect it. And that's when things usually start to move outside of you. Usually before that. But things really start to shift usually at that moment. Like a lot more. And when you waver, when you think opposite thoughts, because that will happen, especially a lot at first. Or when something that seems opposite start happening in your 3D, because it can. But it's not an obligation and it doesn't always happen. So wavering is not you being sad, you feeling opposite emotions. It's not you having a bad day or being negative in your mind about your life in general. Though sometimes it could look this way, yeah. It won't serve you in the long run and you keep spiraling thoughts that are opposite to what you want in general. Random ones, that's more than okay. But wavering is keeping repetitive thoughts that are literally opposite to what you want to manifest in that moment consciously. Why it's not there? Why nothing is happening? Why there is no movement? Why it's been 1 month, 2 months, a year, and still nothing is happening? There is no movement, nothing is never happening. I don't get what I want. That is wavering. Or maybe I need to fix something, maybe I do something wrong. Maybe I'm not manifesting correctly. So yeah, having emotions while you are manifesting is not messing anything up. It's totally normal because you probably had subconscious thoughts that lead to that. And that's totally normal. You can change it too. But wavering is when you are staying mentally parked in the kind of thought that this is never going to work for me. This isn't working for me. Nothing is happening. I still don't get what I want. And you keep returning to that over and over again. Every day or every 2-3 days. Again and again. When you need to choose the reverse of that. Everything is always working out in my favor. Things are happening behind the scenes. I just cannot see it yet. But any moment now, I'm getting what I want. Because I always get what I want anyway. And those opposite thoughts, that wavering is honestly the only thing that is slowing things down for you. It's not that it's not happening. It's just that it delays it. And honestly, social media makes manifestation way harder than it needs to be. There is always a new method, a new rule, and someone that keeps telling you it should be instant. And yes, manifestation can be instant, but you have to make it a rule for yourself. First and foremost, you have to tell yourself that you always manifest instantly first before usually it's the case, unless it's nothing important to you and you don't care and you don't have any resistance to that. So yes, manifestation can be instant and a lot of manifestation are instant. We don't have resistance to any of those. So obviously it is the case. So it feels instant when literally your brain is already at ease with the idea. Already know that it's happening anyway because it feels natural natural and normal. But if you don't see yourself as someone things work out for all the time, expecting it to be instant, just pressure yourself and add more resistance. And honestly, that pressure of time, it doesn't make manifestation easy for you. But what you need to do is start creating rules for yourself for manifestation and start affirming that. First and foremost, if you want to see change fast, that's the way. And the honest version of manifestation is just like that. This is who I am now. This new identity is what is normal for me now because I decided. And I choose every single day at every single present moment to come back to that thought. Even when my mind starts to argue with me, I will shush my mind, put it a stop, telling I'm not arguing with you today. That's not true for me anymore, and choose the new thought again because I want a change in my life and I want it different this time. So I'm not doing the same thing again. So it's not about fixing yourself. This is not about being positive all the time because your new chosen things doesn't have to be formulated in a positive way. You don't have to believe it at first. You don't have to force any feelings or emotions. You are just choosing better thoughts by default, moment by present moment. And that's what makes a difference because you are always creating your experiences anyway, all times, no matter it is something you don't want or something you want, with a switch on off button. This is not how it works. You will always manifest that you are conscious of it or not. You cannot stop it. So make it work in your favor. Your current life, your current experiences are already proof that manifestation is working for you, that it always has. That's all you proof you need. All you do is changing your default mode. So the real question is not, how can I manifest better? You are already manifesting perfectly. It's more, what am I assuming is normal for me? What are my dominant thoughts returning back to? What I keep complaining about all the time. Change that. Reverse it first. And I promise you everything will follow. Alright, bestie, if this episode made something click for you, and I know it did, or put words on something you were feeling but couldn't explain, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you want to support the podcast, the simplest way is to like, comment, and share with someone who might need it and who is tired of complicating their life and their healing or their manifestation. Remember, it is not the end until you get what you want. I'll see you next time.